Hello, and welcome to Rethinking Our History, where we seek to shed a light on events that have been forgotten and covered up, and to make us all question how much do we really know about our history? I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian, and we are here to reveal all the sordid details of history that have been swept under the rug. Get ready to get angry, be curious, and maybe have a laugh or two as we rethink our history.
Hello, friends.
Hey guys.
Thanks for joining us for another lesson, number 76. We are back this week with part 2 of our look at Thomas Edison, a man who is said to have been one of the greatest inventors of all time.
The smite bulb. The light bulb.
In reality, he was just really good at stealing inventions from other people who worked for him.
He didn't really invent the light bulb.
He did not invent the light bulb at all. He, what's the word?
Stole it.
What's the word they kept using in the notes I was looking at? Improved upon it. That was Thomas Edison's thing. He was an improver, not an inventor.
Right.
When we last left you, Edison was getting out of the lighting business. He had gotten tired of the competition and was losing the AC/DC war. Not the band, the electrical currents.
Done dirt cheap.
Don't sue us. So he set his sights on mining. High quality ore was scarce on the East Coast and cost a lot to ship it from the Midwest. Edison's plan was to take sand and mine low quality iron from it. Beginning in 1880, the Edison Ore Milling Company began their separating operations, and Edison promised hundreds of tons of ore a month to several different customers. However, this venture only lasted 3 years before it was shut down, with only one of the customers receiving any ore.
Damn.
Yeah. This first venture was not a complete loss, however, as Edison was able to take some of the technology he had used and lease it out to more profitable countries. Companies. Not countries.
Parker.
Companies. What about Parker?
Leasing out his business.
Well,
other profitable businesses.
You're talking about Gold Rush.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm autistic and have ADHD. You have to specify who exactly you're talking about. Also, I'm not a mind reader, so I don't know what you're talking about. Edison bought a mine in, oh my God, Bechtelsville, Pennsylvania.
All right.
One of his business partners, John Birkenbein, wanted to use this mine as a demonstration site to sell tech to mine owners, while Edison wanted to take over the mining industry. Birkenbein was fired in 1890. Edison went on to buy several more mines in eastern states and built a centralized operation in Ogdensburg, New Jersey. Edison wanted to automate the process as much as possible, so his facility included conveyor belts throughout, rollers and crushers to pulverize the boulders, and bought one of the largest steam shovels in the country to retrieve the boulders. In 1893, the U.S. was in a recession, and between that, falling iron prices, and the expensive lifestyle of his wife and children, Edison was close to going broke. Add to that, his health was also failing due to his diabetes. Edison went to his father-in-law for a loan. Though mining was taking a lot from Edison's pocket, he found another industry to get into: cement. The waste sand that came from the production of the iron ore was sold to cement producers, and in 1899, he established the Edison Portland Cement Company. Quote, "In the manufacturing of Portland cement, limestone, the primary ingredient, is baked at high temperature with the other minerals. Edison designed a novel system which improved the efficiency of this process by baking the cement in horizontal 150-foot kilns, which allowed the cement to achieve the same quality cooking longer at lower temperatures, end quote. This new process saved Edison labor as it allowed for less coal to be used. He also repurposed materials from the iron extraction process to make his new system. Not only did Edison sell the cement, he also licensed the system to other manufacturers, collecting royalties until the 1920s.
Hmm.
Sounds like, who he reminds me of?
Who?
Kevin from Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Mr. Wonderful. I want royalties forever. I was
Right.
like, no, motherfucker, you don't get royalties on this forever. It's mine. I hate Mr. Wonderful. He's such a dick.
Right.
Edison, seeking to make more money, started a cheap housing development initiative. Oh, excuse me. His goal was to create towns in which every person in the US could afford to buy a house. To this end, he ordered the creation of a system that could cast a whole 3-story house out of cement in one mold.
All right.
He did use it to build some houses for his employees and use those to show to others, but his campaign did not receive enough attention for him to pursue that any further. So there's probably like, I don't know, a couple hundred just random cement houses out there that Thomas Edison built.
Hmm.
Like, what the fuck? Edison Cement Company became a regular name in the domestic industry by 1907, but due to competition, Edison had yet to make a profit from it. He attempted to collaborate with other cement companies to encourage the use of cement in construction, but it would take until the 1920s for the cement industry to take off. All the way back in the 1880s, Edison was having problems with his employees. Their first strike took place in spring of 1886 and was led by D.J. O'Dare of Edison Tube Works. While Edison paid his employees well, he did not pay them for overtime. Strikers were seeking more pay, overtime pay, and the right to unionize. As you can imagine, Edison and his managers were not willing to discuss a union. By the end of the year, most of his factories in the city had closed, and Edison started the Edison United Manufacturing Company with a new factory opening up in Schenectady, New York. I know how to say Schenectady. Nothing else. In December of 1886, Edison was hit with a case of pleurisy, which kept him in his home. Pleurisy is the inflammation of the membranes that surround the lungs and line the chest cavity. In May of 1887, he would have to have surgery to treat abscesses below his ear. He had some abscesses
That's not
down
good.
here. Oh. He would have to have that surgery again 2 more times.
Jeez.
So, interesting thing about the pleurisy. My mom didn't have that, but the last time she had cancer, the last chemotherapy she was on, it actually caused that lining that surrounds your lungs and your heart and your chest cavity. It caused those sacs to fill up with fluid. And they would have to take a needle and go into that sac and drain the fluid off of her lung.
Right.
I went one time and I was like, I don't think I want to sit in here when they do that ever again. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That same year, Edison made the decision to build a new, larger lab, this one in West Orange, New Jersey. This new lab would end up being 10 times the size of his old lab. In December, and you can actually go see that lab, I'm pretty sure.
He liked Jersey, didn't he?
Yeah. I have a feeling at this time there wasn't really much in Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there was like some stuff, but I don't know. In December of 1914, a fire broke out that killed one employee and damaged 13 buildings, including the phonograph lab.
Oh, no.
However, the fire would have been a lot worse had it not been for the fact that the factory regularly practiced fire drills, which I was like, they did what now? OSHA wasn't even a thing back then, but they're like practicing fire drills. All right.
Right.
Edison got right back to work rebuilding with all the newest technology and was making records again by January of 1915. There is a fucking fruit fly in here, and I'm worried it's going to get in my drink. There we go. Edison first learned about X rays in 1896 after they were discovered by Wilhelm Röntgen. Again, Edison took someone else's invention and expanded upon it, but that is not something Edison enjoyed. He gave up his experiments after he nearly lost his own eyesight, and he seriously injured his assistants, brothers Clarence and Charles Daly. Clarence died at the age of 39 due to the exposure from the experiments.
Damn.
Yeah, because they didn't realize how bad radiation was back then.
Yeah.
And I feel stupid. I did not realize they had electric cars back then.
Yeah.
Did you know they had electric cars back in the late 1800s, early 1900s?
I think so, yeah.
No fucking idea. I thought they were all like Model T,
But then again,
like steam powered or some
I
shit.
watched Tesla's
Yeah.
movie.
Edison began experimenting on making a more efficient rechargeable battery for electric cars. Edison decided to try to make an alkaline battery, whereas the current batteries use lead acid.
Yep.
After testing thousands of combinations of electrodes and solutions, he settled on a nickel iron combination. At the same time Edison was experimenting with his batteries, Waldemar Jungner was also working on a similar design. As Edison tried to commercialize his battery, the two would battle each other in court. Edison got a US and European patent for his nickel iron battery in 1901 and went on to open the Edison Storage Battery Company. By 1904, the battery company had 450 employees. Their first batteries were made for electric cars, but they were recalled due to the batteries losing power after several recharge cycles. Even with a $1.1 million loan from Henry Ford, who had previously worked for Edison, he was never able to bring a sufficient battery to market.
Right.
And so I guess Henry worked for Edison, and Edison was like, dude, you should go make cars. That's like cool as shit. Like, go make some cars. So he went and made cars. Um, Next, we get to one of the most interesting inventions or interesting drama surrounding an invention. Edison has widely been credited with creating motion pictures, but that is just not true. In 1897, Edison was granted a patent for the kintograph, or a motion picture camera,
Hmm.
but the real inventor of this instrument that changed society was William Kennedy Laurie Dixon. Dixon would also be instrumental in the creation of the, how would you say Kine? Kine? Kine?
Kine.
The kinetophonograph, which would capture images and sound with synchronized playback.
The Kento phonograph.
Yeah,
Maybe.
kinetophonograph? I don't know. By 1895, Dixon had started working for himself and would go on to be an advisor for the Latham brothers.
Hmm.
In April of 1896, Edison agreed to a deal with Thomas Armat, in which Edison's company would make and sell the Vitascope projector. To boost sales, it was marketed as an Edison invention, but the real brains behind the projector were Thomas Armat and C. Francis Jenkins.
Thomas.
No, we no talk about Bruno. Edison attempted to make his own projector, but would have to admit that the Vitascope was better. Edison's film studio made around 1,200 films, but there was only one that they made that shows you how depraved Edison could be when it came to business.
Right.
In 1903, the owners of Luna Park on Coney Island announced that they were going to kill Topsy the elephant.
Oh no.
So Edison Manufacturing filmed the poor elephant being killed by alternating currents in a film titled Electrocuting an Elephant.
Oh Jesus. All right.
I read somewhere that they were like, well, actually, the owners were going to hang it. I'm like, they were going to hang a fucking elephant? The fuck? Why are we killing this elephant? Why does Topsy have to die?
Right.
Oh, fucking white people? White people! Hang on, I got to put a lid. Got to put a lid back on that rage. It came out for a second. Listen, after that kid Noah died on that island, it's been almost unbearable. The rage has been. I've been working very hard to keep a lid on.
Right.
The Motion Picture Patent Company was started by Edison in 1908. The motion picture industry quickly expanded to include talkies. Edison was confident his kinetophone tech would be the greatest motion picture tech, but it was difficult to use and required a skilled projectionist to run it. Due to that due to that difficulty, his industry took a decline in the mid 1910s. As World War I ramped up, Edison suggested the formation of a science and industry committee, quote, to provide advice and research to the U.S. military, end quote. No, rich white fuckers don't need to be getting involved with the military.
Nope.
Though he attended few of the meetings, citing his deafness, Edison would head the Naval Counseling Board in 1915. One of the tasks of the board was to prepare a site to conduct research for the Navy. Edison was hoping to have the site located far away from DC to prevent constant visits by bureaucrats, but his wishes were not listened to, so he turned his attention to experimenting with military technology. When it comes to submarines, Edison attempted to improve the submarine detection systems, but none were adopted by the Navy. So he turned his attention to something he already had experience in, batteries. He had Miller Hutchinson promote his battery tech as safer than lead batteries in submarines. A lead battery on one submarine leaked sulfuric acid, which mixed with the seawater, creating chlorine gas that seriously injured a submarine crew from the US.
Oh no.
You know what I thought of?
What?
Uh, honeycomb plastic.
Mm-hmm.
When you mixed it, I don't exactly remember which plastic you couldn't mix it with, or else it would create napalm. And that's what it makes me think of.
Right.
However, Edison's batteries were not any safer to use in submarines. While not a problem in automobiles, in a submarine, his nickel iron batteries leaked hydrogen gas, which could become explosive, and did in January of 1916 when a hydrogen explosion caused by one of Edison's test batteries killed 5 men on the USS E2.
Oh no. That's horrible.
It is. Though Edison and Hutchinson were often blamed for this explosion by naval officials, Edison did not lose his good standing with the Navy. During this time, Edison and other businessmen were concerned over the US's reliance on foreign supply of rubber. The US used 75% of the world's rubber but produced very little. Their fears were realized when, in 1921, the British government introduced the Stevenson Plan. This was a scheme to restrict the supply of natural rubber to raise the prices. This came after World War I ended and the demand and price for rubber plummeted. Edison raised money from friends Ford and Firestone, like the tire people,
Yep.
for botanical research into a new source of rubber.
So my grandfather did. Made rubber.
Which one?
My mom's.
Billy Pryor.
Yep.
Okay. And it was Gervis that hauled rocks?
No.
Billy hauled rocks.
Yeah.
Billy did a lot, didn't he?
Yep.
All right, Billy.
He hauled rock from Cherokee, but then he also worked at Daco for a really long time, making rubber.
Old Daco.
That's what they made was rubber.
I don't. When did Daco shut down?
It was a long time
Because
ago.
I feel like I've always heard about it, but I don't remember it being open
Yeah,
when
no,
we moved here.
it wasn't.
We moved here in 1998.
The plant was there, but it was abandoned, and then Walmart took it.
I was gonna say now it's a Walmart.
Yep.
After testing 17,000 plant samples, Edison announced near the end of 1929 that he had found a good source of rubber in Leavenworth's goldenrod.
Hmm.
Edison died on October 18th, 1931, from a combination of diabetes and tobacco use.
Oh, no.
He liked to chew tobacco. He was known as one of the greatest inventors to have ever lived, but what he was a sleazy businessman. He took inventions from others and slapped his name on them and sued anyone who dared to challenge him. As I said earlier, he was an improver, not an inventor, and the people who really invent these things need to have their names recognized. So, Bill, what do you think about Thomas Alva Edison?
1997. That's when Daco closed.
Okay, so it closed right before we moved up here.
Yeah.
We moved up in August of 98.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So what do you think about Thomas Edison?
He's a crap guy.
Just a jerk.
I think I kind of realized that when I watched the movie, but
Yeah, kind of get that from the Tesla movie.
he's a bully. Like,
He was a bully. He was very much a bully.
bullies people out of money. Like, that's all he was about was money.
Yeah. And I couldn't really find anything about him being tied to anybody's death or disappearances.
Right.
He just was a shitty guy
Yeah.
who stole other people's ideas because he had no original content.
No. You sure didn't.
Pootsy pie. Pootie pie. No original content. All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you guys have a good week, and we will see you guys later.
Be kind to each other.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.